My name is Khadim Ali, and I was born in Quetta, Pakistan. Quetta is a little town at the border of Pakistan and Afghanistan, and I'm a Hazara. My grandparents went to Quetta from Afghanistan, and they actually escaped persecution in 1890s. So the Hazaras are still living at that border town, and they are still under the constant threat of genocide there. The title is Transition and Evacuation. The title came in scenario of the evacuation of international troops from Afghanistan in 2014, where the locals see that it's not a political transition, it's only a transition of power in Afghanistan. And Afghanistan is, the 40% of Afghanistan is still in the hand of Taliban, and the government is still struggling with Taliban. Even international troops are struggling with Taliban in Afghanistan. It's an empty struggle in Afghanistan, an empty struggle of international troops in Afghanistan. The demon that I'm painting are the demons that are, I'm inspired from the book called Shahnameh. Shahnameh was written in 1080 in the court of Mahmud Ghaznavi in Afghanistan. And my grandparents who escaped Afghanistan, he was a Muslim, of course, and he had a book. He had two books with him. One was the Book of Quran, and the other book was the Book of King, a Shahnameh. And I grew up with my grandfather, who was a Shahnameh singer. And Shahnameh is an epic poem book. It contains 60,000 verses in it, and the places the author mentions are all real places, and the characters are all fictitious characters. The hero's name is Rustam, and he fights the bad side of humanity, and he fights demons in the book. But in the end of the story, the hero Rustam got killed by his own brothers, and what survived in the story was all those demons, or the dark side of humanity. So when I was growing up with my grandfather, I was always looking at myself as Rustam. But for me, it was very difficult to accept the fact that the hero is killed. So I was not accepting that part of story. But when I started researching the history of Hazaras, I found that the Hazaras have a lot of similarities with the demons in Shahnameh. The demons were living in the caves, and Hazaras were living in the caves in Bamiyan. And the demons were declared infidel, and the Hazaras were declared infidel in Afghanistan. And the demons were rebellious, the Hazaras were rebellious in Afghanistan. So depicting that similarities from the history of Hazaras and the living style of the demons in the Book of King, then I started painting demon as the collective portrait of Hazaras, so who were dehumanized and demonized in the Afghanistan history.
They're obviously not just the demons representing Hazaras or not.
Exactly.
They've been given another kind of layer of meaning.
Mm-hmm. In Afghanistan, because it has been a land of war, and there's been a lot of jihad going on, and not only the Hazaras or all the non-Muslims or the minorities were dehumanized and demonized. Even the international troops were they're not looked as a human. They're looked down as an infidel. They're looked down as a demon in Afghanistan. The presentation of demon in the work related to the current jihadi moments in that region. The blue signifies, or the white and blue signifies the Westerners, and the green and dark brown, or the brown or the gray signifies the locals of that region. And the empty niche of Buddha that I'm painting is taken as a real place, because I'm following the format of Shahnameh, and I'm showing the real places, because that empty niche of Buddha is the icon of Hazara land in Afghanistan. I trained as a miniaturist at National College of Arts, and I chose this medium because I'm very familiar with miniature painting from my childhood. Not with the technique, but with the imagery of miniature painting. When I heard that National College of Arts is offering miniature painting as a major, so I got admission there. And after graduating from there, I'm practicing as a miniature painter. But on 31st of August 2011, my parents' house were blown up. This suicide bomber came with 80 kg of explosive and blew himself right in front of my parents' house, where they, a part of my parents' house was my studio, where I left everything there. And with that explosion, I lost almost everything, and we lost almost everything belonging to the family. The thing that we kept from centuries in the family, we lost everything. And the only thing survived in that explosion were some rugs that we had in the family from a very long time. And when I saw the videos and the photos, the people taking the rubble off and taking my mother out of the rubble, I could see the red carpet underneath that rubble. So it was giving me an impression that a wound is getting peeled off, and you could see the red, bloody skin underneath that wound cover. And then I realized that it's such a strong medium that survived a bomb blast, and it's also a local medium, and it's working with rug will also be good to get involved with the local artisan. So I went to Afghanistan to see a friend, an artist friend. His name is Sherali, who grew up as a carpet weaver. And Shirley and I sat for almost a year to think about, to analyze the structure of a rug, that how should we transfer the images of the images that I'm doing on the miniature painting on the rug. How should I weave it? How should I weave these images on a rug? So we came up with an idea, and we took it to the masters in Herat. Herat is a western city of Afghanistan, which is known for their rug weavers. So I took it to the master there and explained everything to them, and they said it's impossible. But we knew that it's possible, and we came back to our studio in Kabul, and we started working on that. We discarded 2 rugs before, but then eventually we successfully did 1 rug, and then after that we trained some other rug weavers in that area. So we are now doing a bigger body of work in rugs. In these 2 artworks you can find a battle scene in here, and both battle scenes are related to the political situation in Pakistan and in Afghanistan. And where in Afghanistan, where the international troops, or especially the Australian troops, are fighting in Uruzgan province, and Uruzgan province belonged to Hazaras till 1890s. When the grand massacres of Hazaras started in 1890s, the Hazaras from Uruzgan, they left their lands and they escaped towards the mountains, and it was captured by the king. And now the international troops, or Australian troops, are fighting Taliban there. So when I went to Hazarjad in Bamiyan, when I saw the locals are very scared of Taliban, and they always looked at Taliban as a demon. But then the Taliban, or the Pashtun, they also look at the international troops as demons. In broader scale, it's a demonization of the bigger power in there. So the weaker group, or the minorities, they always look at the stronger ethnic groups as a demon, because they were persecuted and they were victims in the battle history of Afghanistan. So in that scenario, the demons are fighting demons. It's definitely a non-human act. And since Afghanistan is a land of demon, where there's no concept of national hero, a national or a hero, or the leader of one ethnic group is the biggest ethnic group to another ethnic group. So they don't have a national hero in Afghanistan. So It's demon fighting another demon.